Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and a great New Year. I'm super excited. We're going to be going through, I just got back from a trip from the West Coast to Connecticut, and I did that so that I could buy a couple of different coin collections, and I unboxed I think two of them. There's a few more, but two of them are going to make it into videos, and this is the first. This was actually more of a dealer coin shop visit. It's a regular coin shop that I've been to many, many times, and I was able to pick up a bunch of world silver. So I actually haven't taken a look. We're going to see what's there. I basically picked up a few bags. It's a coin shop that trusts me, and I trust them quite a lot. I said, hey, I'll pay you some of this. I'm going to pay you more than melt. Some of it I'm going to pay you a bit back of melt, and I will hunt it, see what's in there. If there's anything rare, I'll pay you more. So now we're gonna get through these awesome bags of silver, and we will see you with the coins in front of us. All right, so here we've got the coins in front of us, and like I said, it's going to be an unboxing. We're basically just tallying up the silver total, but I really haven't looked closely at what's inside, and I'm excited to obviously process all of it. I know that there's a bunch of Swiss stuff, and I think that we're going to do something like 110% of silver on them, and then it's going to be a bit back of silver on some of like the 62.5% German and the Dutch coins. And I think broadly that those are the two main categories, but I think that I'm going to go kind of bag by bag and just talk about it live. I'm almost tempted to start with some of these flips, and then maybe we'll do the flips. I want to save this because it seems like there's the most coins in there, and then we can also take a look at the Dutch and the German, and it could be pretty quick, but I'm sort of just gonna go through, grab a handful of these and start sorting, and maybe it won't even be silver at all, but we've got, and let me maybe zoom in a little bit here as well, but it looks like there's a farthing. This is going to be 50% silver, so after World War I, Britain drops their silver content from 92.5% to 50% just because it's easier to finance. There we've got a sixpence, 44, and I think that they phase out of silver in 1947. So that 44 didn't even look. Here we have an interesting, it's like a not a portcullis, but how many sides is that? I'm always fascinated. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a dodecagon, 12-sided coin. Yeah, here we see that in 1947. And it's just not silver, 2 shilling coin. There we've got a 1931 3-pence, and then some larger pennies. These, I'm just thinking because most of these, I mean, really all of these are going to be bought for resale. There's a 1917 prior to that silver switch. And let's see if we can actually tell the difference. I mean, it doesn't come through super apparently here, but that one is higher purity. There's a 1919. There you can see it once they wear down on a sixpence, how the 50% silver wears slightly differently from something like that's a worn 92.5%. So that's what sterling silver is, 92.5%. Some people have sterling silver, like fancy cutlery and that kind of thing. But we've got a little bit more clad and some nice silver. Not that the clad is, but it has much, much less collector value versus, that's a nice half crown there. We've got a British 6 and 3-pence, a penny. And then let's see. So over here, these look interesting. They're a bit older. 1859 3-pence. That's going to be the younger portrait of Queen Victoria. She gets to the throne in about 1837. And then we've got a King George III shortly before his end. He was actually who the revolutionaries fought against and took off from. I think that's a full shilling coin. I think it's much larger than the sixpence. Then we've got a florin. Let's see, what else? Shilling. And that's cool. That looks like maybe a, let's see who it is. 1819 King George the third. That almost looks like a florin. Is that, or half crown? I would have tabbed that as a florin, but it easily could be a half crown. Interesting. And okay, no, maybe it is a half crown because that's the same size as the 1921 half crown in back of it. Very cool. Then we have a nice, that's actually has some like faint luster on there. 1942 World War II time frame. King George the Sixth. It's King George the Fifth takes over from Edward the Seventh, or maybe 8th, in 1910, and then reigns till 1936. George the Sixth is before Queen Elizabeth. Looks like some older coppers, maybe without a date. And then, ooh, that's actually a nice coin. 1873 20 cents from Newfoundland. So there's a lot of different Canadian provinces. I think 1867 is when Canada is founded. And so even after, for a little bit after, they're used to, there's like some interesting tokens. And so, okay, nice. That's clad there. But all the other stuff here is silver. 1886. And her portraits in 1886, though, I'm trying to think, on some of the, I think it's like 88 is when they have the Jubilee head portrait. Or maybe it's 87 after 50 years. We've got a little bit more clad, a little bit more, I don't want to be like rifling through, but these are maybe a little less like, it's a relatively common 6 pence or 3 pence. So good start there. And I'm going to kind of make a little pile in back of the silver and then the non-silver. Let's see what I thought this was all going to be German. So let's see if this is German, and it is. That's a nice coin to start there. In 1877, basically, I think Germany in 1871-ish gets unified by Kaiser Wilhelm. This is a different, this is Wilhelm. Wilhelm, because it's from Prussia, but they continue to strike until after, or during really World War I. They strike their own coins. So like the big, Prussia is like a German state. Here we see Bayern. Maybe famous for Bayern Munich, 1848 1 Kreuzer. That's the Kreuzer denomination is more like Austrian origin. And then some nice, they made good Olympic commemoratives. These are 10 mark, a couple 10 mark coins from the 72 München Olympics. It looks like these are going to be Third Reich. So I think I can sell that one because it doesn't have a swastika on whatnot. This one I can't because it does. 5 Reichsmark. And then here we have a couple more of those Munich games. And I don't think that there's any particularly like expensive or rare of the Munich Olympic coins. This one's interesting. 1989. That looks like a later commemorative for 40 years of the Bundesrepublik of Deutschland. So that would have been like the West German. And these are all West German Deutsche Mark. There's a 62.5% silver. I think these are 62.5% as well. And then that's what I'm talking about. That's a beautiful coin. A Hamburg, Freie und Hansestadt, Hamburg, with nice luster, 3 mark. That's a great pickup. And then there is a nice 1936 Hindenburg coin. In back of it, neat, a Carl Zeiss 10 mark. That one also looks later. It says 1816 to 1888, but I would guess, and it has some edge lettering. Für Wissenschaft und Technik. It doesn't have a date on it though. Oh no, there it is, 1988. So it is a later commem, and then a 1936 Reichsmark. That's interesting. It looks like König Wirth, so probably Württemberg, 6 Kreuzer from 1849, and then some lower denom 3 Heller. That Scheidemunze down there is basically acknowledging that this does not have the requisite amount of silver. So it's 1867, but it's just saying that, hey, this doesn't actually conform to the silver standard. And then that's a 3 Reichsmark coin. Oh, that's actually a nicer item. I think that's a higher premium one. Definitely will be doing a kickback. Yeah, nice 3 Reichsmark though. Awesome. Big fan of that item. Very, very fun. Maybe a light cleaning, but really a spectacular coin. And then in back of it, we've got, let's see here, small Pfennig, another 5 mark. Oh, interesting, a 1 Reichsmark. Here's a silver groschen that looks like maybe, and it says Scheidemunze. Yeah, down there you can see Wilhelm, King of Prussia. But again, acknowledging this is probably what's known as Billen, less than 50% silver. We've got another Reichsmark. Ooh, some coins and flips. Let's see. 5 Pfennig. They don't seem to be crazy. I will flip through them later, but for the sake of this video, interesting Notgeld coins. So after they have, well, first, this is during World War I. They have a bunch of different, mostly towns and cities minting their own coins, much like the Civil War tokens, Condor tokens in Britain. They have provincial minted coins just to facilitate small change. Here we've got a later John F. Kennedy. Ich bin ein Berliner. I think he said that, Ich bin ein Berliner, and it was I am a Berliner, but that was the name of a donut or something in Berlin, and so it was a very funny mistranslation that garnered him some favor. And it also talks about 750 years of Berlin. There's a half mark, so this is like the unified lower denomination coins, but then a very aptly timed Otto König, King of Bayern, Bavaria, 1908 5 mark. And then let's see, last but not least, we've got two more not Geld coins, but this is more towards that Weimar Republic when after World War I, Germany is in shambles. They have very aggressive kind of reparations plans for the World War I occurrence. They're on the losing end of it, and they have a big hyperinflation currency crisis. Last thing, a shilling Hamburger Courant from 1790. That's really, really cool. Sweet. Well, that's the German stuff. Next up, why don't we do more German stuff? Storage gave out on my iPhone, which I do just film with my iPhone, so not huge barrier to start making content, which I've told a lot of people, as I open that German bag. So mostly 62.5%. I think I flipped through and I saw a few interesting commemoratives. This one I hadn't recognized as 1966, and I'm going to zoom this a little bit more. But I saw there was a few, could have sworn I thought I saw there was an older coin in here somewhere. A lot of cool commem types. These are the classic 5 mark. Where'd it go? There it is. It is a 2 mark, a Prussian commemorative, talking about Wilhelm Friedrich I and then Wilhelm II from 200 years earlier in 1701. And then lastly, we had an Otto 2 mark, and then a interesting commemorative. That's a Euro commemorative from 2007. So kind of a fun mix there. Let's grab all. I don't know my Dutch history quite as well. Obviously, they were an important trading power, but then a lot quieter. This probably shows Nederland. I also can't speak Dutch, but this is a 25th anniversary, 1970. I think a 10 golden coin. The primary people we're going to be looking at is probably Wilhelmina, and then after her, Juliana. So there we see Wilhelmina, and a lot of these coins were made. That's actually Dutch Indies. So you see the S mint mark there, and you can often find this. Here's a 1940, but there was a Nazi takeover of the Netherlands quite early in the war. And here's a 1916, by the way. That is also Wilhelmina, but I think earlier than that is Juliana. The Dutch East Indies, I think the East Indies are in, and there's Curacao. That's definitely in the Caribbean. So they had a lot of colonial settlements. But I was actually just selling some coins from Mauritius, which is an island in East, and there's a 3 pence British coin. We'll put that to the side. Which is an island in East Africa. I mean, they really had a lot of strength. There's Netherlands Indies. I think that just might be regular Netherlands Indies, which are over in, basically they had Indonesia. There's Netherlands Antilles. That's going to be a Caribbean type. A 1973 10 golden. That's really cool. I've not seen that. 25th anniversary, and they're talking about Juliana. Let's see where else we would, if we pick up anything new. 1931, another 1 golden there, and I could see a lot of this ending up. There's a Canadian 6 pence being a grab bag situation, or where I make mini lots of 4 or 5 interesting coins. And then this is a really heavy package actually, bunch of mostly, but I see some Dutch in there. I'm going to pull it off camera. Hopefully you believe me that I'm not subbing in some super rare coin. But it looks like a lot of Dutch that are in flips, and then there's also a good amount of loose Swiss coinage. And so, let's see. Here we go. Okay. Maybe I've bitten off a bit more than I can chew. We've got a bunch of 1 golden. I think these are mostly 72%. And then this one looks almost a little different, and it is. It's older. Netherlands Antilles, 1952. I knew it seemed a little bit out of place. Here, this is a very classic crown size Dutch coin, 1930, 2.5 golden, with Wilhelmina prominently featured. Whoa, that's my handwriting. This must have been around for a long time. I determined
$4 retail, but this actually looks different from the regular Do-It. Yeah, this is a Hollandia Do-It, 1766. Either prices went up or I was being pessimistic. But here I am buying it. I haven't worked at that coin shop in 4 years. 1940 Blast White, nice nice Dutch coin. And then this is like a fun, but not silver, 5 cent. There's another Do-It, 1754. We can also flip it over and look. I think that this is maybe West Friesland, but there's one where it's like 2 waves. Here's a 1786 one. That one I think is from Utrecht. They have a bunch of different mints on those. It's a 2.5 cent coin. That's not my handwriting, from 1857. I'm a little bit short on being able to hold coins. 1952, one more of those Dutch Antilles types. Here is an older King Willem III. Let's see. Apparently it's 1890, 25 cents. Very fun. 1944 Curaçao type, another larger crown. Some better stuff, maybe what does that say? Netherlands copper coin lot. I don't think that this is going to be 130 bucks, but some older Dutch stuff. Then we have a Beatrix. That's the more recent queen, 1982 commemorative 50 gulden. Some kind of a token. Some clad coins. Some more Dutch clad. 1919 silver. 1930 2.5, and another one of the Julianas. And then we have, let's see what's in there. It just says 1 cent, so similar to the previous. I'm gonna keep moving. We've got some larger 2.5 golden, but they've shrunken it by then. It shows kind of how the silver, inflation really just hits them. 1941 1 cent, and Utrecht. Ooh, that's really cool. I've never seen that coin before. Silver 10 cent from Utrecht. That's an older half golden from 1921 of Wilhelmina's. That looks like a nice looking 1759 Dutch Republic one Do-It. Also my handwriting, love to see it. And some more 2.5. But yeah, side by side, there is what it looks like in 1940 versus 1959. So definitely you can observe that downsizing. And this brings us to the last, which is a bunch of Swiss stuff. Swiss coins are very interesting because they're some of the most like continuous types. So what do I mean by that? Basically, they're some of the only coins that have held the same design over 100 plus years in the modern era. Now they phased out silver, but they were some of the last to do that. I think it was 1968, but they were still minting their coins out of silver, and we got a bunch of them. So let me see what the most intelligent. I'm actually going to come back and pause the video and pack this stuff, or not pack it, but like package it in a way that's easier, just because this would be, I don't know, I feel like it would be more fun to have me go through it, but it seems just like silver mid 1900s, but the coins, yeah, you'll see they really don't change. And I'll just pick it up. I did, grab everything, and we'll flip through the dates. Okay, nice. So there is some earlier stuff in here. I saw 1920, as well as some pretty good condition 1960, but at least it kind of proves my point. There's a 21, that there's good consistency across a bunch of different years, whether it's World War I, post-World War I, World War II, during it. 1946, that one looked really nice. Let's see if there's any other older dates. Hoping for the older the better, I think. And I really don't know, like, key dates. I've sold some key date coins that I just had no idea were key dates in the world silver. That's definitely not a expertise, I guess, of mine. 64, 63, 48. I feel like those, obviously paying more than the silver price is for them. And a one franc snuck in, but I'm still really happy to just get any. 64. I wonder how if it was a collection that was accumulated or somebody from Switzerland who moved over in 1912. That's awesome. Sweet. That's our oldest find yet from the Swiss stuff. I guess the only thing that changes is like how some of the text that they use in their lettering. 37 is older, and similarly, I mean, the Swiss were neutral in the Second World War, so they're really, there's not a whole lot of differences that are going to be easy to observe. on these coins. That's an older one, 1932, super nice. 54, 67, 66, 66, 39 is awesome. A little bit clean, but that's okay. 32, 32, 32, nice. 65, 67, sweet. Maybe we'll do a little detour on the half francs, which again appear remarkably similar. 1905, cool, that's our oldest. This one is a 5 Rapin, so their cent equivalent is going to be the Rapin. That one is not silver, it's 1969. You can see the difference in the metal composition. And even older, 1900 half franc, love it. 1921, ooh, sweet. 1879, that is awesome. 1960 and 1944, fantastic. And we'll thumb through these last ones. But I would overall say this was great hunt. Nothing like crazy rare, though. I think that German coin actually was pretty nice. And I'll have to look after the video is done. More so just like a good large batch of stuff that will be helpful, you know, to stock my sales, get it to more collectors. And, you know, it's always good to keep the shops that you work with happy as well by purchasing their items. Then they come back to you when they get new stuff. So, fantastic hunt. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys soon. I try to unbox pretty much everything that comes across my desk and show it all to you. Let's we'll zoom out slightly here and just show the group of everything that we got. Wonderful outcome in my opinion. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.